Hello, this is Chris Hondel, and I'm one of the founders of Finale Inventory. In this video, I'm going to walk through some of the reporting capabilities of Finale, specifically in the areas of reporting on stock. Within Finale, we have reports for many different types of reports, covering purchases, sales, transfers, accounting reports, reports on stock, which is the focus of this video, as well as all the documents in Finale. The documents in Finale, such as if you print an invoice or PO to send to somebody, or if you're printing labels, are all actually reports that have specific formatting templates attached. All these go through the same system and are customizable, both in terms of the data that they contain and in terms of formatting. But today we're going to focus on stock reports. And stock reports are important in an inventory system because the system is capturing all types of information about your operations, and without reports there's just no way to dig in and look and determine what's going on. And so to run a report, it's very easy. I just come to the screen, find the report I want, click the link. I'll get a set of options in terms of how I want to filter the report further, and then I have an option. I can always take it to PDF, I can export it to Excel, or I can immediately send it via email directly from the system without having to first save it and then open it up in my email program. So I'm just going to run this report, which is going to give me my total stock for all my locations in terms of the base units. So come up for a second. It's only 4 pages long. I'll go down here to one of the locations that's a little bit easier to understand. This is the North Annex location. And so for each item, we've got a set of columns available. These columns can all be changed to include any of the columns that have been defined on your products. They're sorted in order from left to right by the columns, and includes my quantity in hand of each item, the number that that item has been reserved for sales. For this particular location, none have been reserved, and then the units that are available to promise to customers. In addition to basic information on accounts, we have information on our cost basis and on our valuation based on the current retail price. And so this gives us kind of a complete picture of where we stand. And this report's organized by location, so I can flip down to the next page, and now we look at our warehouse location. You'll note that at this location we actually do have one sale that has some reservations, and so those reservations appear on the screen. So going back into reports, that's pretty interesting, but let's suppose we want to drill down and look a lot more closely at what's happening at a particular magazine. So we call a magazine, that's just another word for a sublocation. So it's an area within one of our facilities that we are going to be tracking for stock. So I'm going to click on the stock grouped by magazine, category, and product. And I'm just going to limit this report to drill down into the magazine that's labeled R1. You can have as many magazines as you need. They might represent just individual buildings in your operation, or individual levels, or bays, or shelves, whatever makes sense. So I'm going to print this to PDF. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here so we can see it more clearly. And this report is showing me the stock at this particular magazine, and it's grouping it first by the category. These products here don't have a category assigned, and then by the product. So for each product, again, we can see the quantity on hand in terms of units, the cost per unit, the total cost for that product, the price per unit, and the total valuation based on the list price. And what's nice in this report is we can get subtotals, and I have subtotals here both at the category level and for the entire magazine. So very quickly I can drill down and see what I've got in any particular magazine. As you'll note, the reports come up basically instantaneously. Even reports that run to 1,000 pages come up within 10 to 20 seconds. So this is pretty interesting, but as I mentioned, reports are customizable, and we've got one categorization here. But let's suppose we have a second way of organizing our products by the type of product they are, whether they're raw material and assembly, some other means of organization. In our case, that second type of organization was defined as a custom field. So any product in Finale can have custom fields, and those fields are available in reports. So I clicked the Customize button, which is available on any report, and from there I can specify which data set I'm going to be pulling from, the filters, which is how the report is going to be filtered, the set of primary columns, which define the basic grouping and organization reports, and then the set of calculated columns, which are calculations that are performed. For example, adding up the total cost basis of the products or adding up just the quantity on hands. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to change this report here, and I'm going to select this column here called category, and you see very quickly, I'm just going to scroll through this quickly, the long list of columns that I have the ability to pick from. And I know that the particular thing I want to pick from is labeled product, and it's going to be labeled the product type. So actually I'm just going to scroll down until I see it. It's all the way down here, but if I wanted to, instead of scrolling down, I could just type duct type, and it'll immediately filter down to the field that matches, and I'll click that. So product type was a custom field. You can define whatever custom fields you want. So now that I've updated that report, I'm going to print that to PDF, and it comes up pretty quickly. And I'm going to, let's see, we were looking at Magazine R1. That was a 10-page report. Let's go ahead and take a look at that Magazine R1. Here we go. You'll see here, this is similar to the previous report, except the category column was replaced with the type column, and the organization and the subtotals are done based on items that don't have a value for that field, the value for the assembly, or value raw. And this applies to any of the reports. You can replace columns, rearrange columns, reformat columns, change column labels, all directly from this user interface without having to get a programmer involved in any way. So now an inventory management system that just is able to show you your current position is useful, and it's probably, you know, kind of a basic capability. But when you're looking at a cloud inventory management system, you also need to be thinking about, is it actually tracking all your historical data as a perpetual inventory system, or is it just only able to show you your current numbers? Because if it can only show your current numbers, you really have no way to tell the accuracy. You really need a system that can dig in and show you all the things that have happened at any location, so that if you do have a number that's off, you can try to figure out where you went astray. We provide that capability through our stock history reports. Clicking on stock history reports, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to switch this to show including details in each transaction, and I'm just going to, again, limit it to one location. If I was doing all my magazines or sublocations, this would be a little bit overwhelming to look at. So I'm going to hit run report, and it'll come up pretty quick. And now I can see for this particular sublocation, T2, the current position. I have 0 packed sales. This is a sale that would have been packed. And I got there by receiving items from a variety of other locations, and then on the March 10th, and then shipping them out on April 12th. So another example here, perhaps a little bit more clear, is this item here, 8012. So I currently have 0 in here, but I got here by receiving 2 items with lot AABCCS, so I can actually see the lot IDs on August 14th, and then in 924, as a process of shipping out the sale, I transferred them to a different magazine. And so I can see that even though I don't have any there now, I used to have some items that were then later shipped. This is the kind of really granular, highly detailed information that makes a inventory system let you really understand what is going on with your business. So let me come back to reports, and let's actually go to one more report, set of reports that builds off the stock, and that's coming over here. And we're looking at some reports that are letting us search through our historical shipments and our stock on hand. So this is, if I want to just really drill down to one specific product, I'm going to go do a search. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to look for a specific product. You know, the list here is a little overwhelming. There's a lot of items in it. It kind of goes on and on and on. So, but I'm going to drill down in here, and I'm going to just start to type. So I'm going to type TI. That's all items that have a TI, and I'm going to type CAL. And all of a sudden, it zoomed in, and it did a full-text search across all the fields and found that if I type TI Calc, I must be talking about a TI-83 calculator. Let's select that, and I go print PDF to run that report. This was a searching a stock by product or lot. And on this report, what you're seeing here is the specific position of this item, and are currently having one each at these particular items. With these particular lots, you'll note each one is a different lot ID, so each one's showing up on its own line. And then below that, a sale that was entered, which has 3 units reserved. I'm going to go in real quick, and I'm not satisfied with the layout of this report, so I can come in and change it. I'm going to click Customize. I'm going to get rid of this field, and I'm going to get rid of this field to make it a little bit more compact. And then we're going to again search for that TI calculator, and I'm going to run that report with a slightly more compact setting. Now I can see the quantity in hand, the units reserved, and the units available. And I'm going to do one more change. You'll note on this screen it's not providing me a total for each of these columns, so I'm going to fix that by coming back over here and indicating that what I want to do is actually, after each product description, I want to do an indent and I want to put totals below. So I'm going to just switch the formatting, so it's going to be the same information with different formatting. I'm going to print PDF. And now that report's a little bit more to our liking, because now I can see that I've got this product at this location with these lots and this reservation for sale, and that my total position is I've got 12 on hand, 3 of which are reserved for sale, and there's 9 available to sell. This is kind of a quick example of how I can take a look at a report and very quickly drill down into the details, see that the formatting is not what I would like, and fix it from there. I've got one last example report, and frequently this last example has to do with being able to search, and being able to search by a serial number or by a lot identifier. So frequently customers who want to track their stock via lots or via serial numbers need to be able to search historically to find out where that item might have gone. For example, they may have a recall and they need to find all the customer shipments. So I'm going to go search for shipments, and I'm going to come in, I'm going to look for a lot, and I'm going to look in for lots that are the expiration date 8/12/2000. And I'm going to pull that up. So I went real quick, I just hit carriage return, which committed the thing, and I pulled it up, and I see immediately that I have 3 of those, and it went out on this order 10077. That's my sales order number. Actually, that's when it came in from, and where I currently have them. Currently are in magazine R1. So that just is a quick example of how you can search very quickly and search through all the shipments that have gone through the system and determine where a particular lot may have entered your company and to which customers it may have been shipped to. Alright, so that pretty much wraps up this video in terms of drilling down into the reports that are available. Of course, all of the reports can be further customized. You can add additional reports simply by taking one of the reports on the screen, duplicating it, and customizing it further. And in combination with the operational data that you enter into the system, the reports give you a complete picture of your business and let you observe the effects of all your transactions. Thank you. Again, my name is Chris Hondel, and I'm one of the founders of Finale Inventory.